Hey, thanks for slithering in. Welcome back. Today we are building a fitness retreat made completely out of shipping containers in Evergreen Harbor, which is the world that came with Eco Lifestyle. It's a very zen, very kind of more modern feel than I typically go to, so hopefully you guys do enjoy. I had a ton of fun actually building this one. Honestly, when I first started, I didn't know it was going to be a retreat or even a fitness retreat for that matter. I don't know what it was going to be. It was probably going to be a home, and then at some point I was like, well, maybe it could be apartments. But then we got Adventures Awaits and the ability for custom venues. So I was like, I guess this could be kind of a retreat thing. And I actually like how that turned out. So this diagonal piece here is made completely of glass. I don't know how realistic it is to have like a full glass container, but this is where we are at. And we are going to use some flooring up here for the ceiling to kind of make it feel more containery like. That's not even a word. And I'm going to loft this space a little bit. Right now it's just right in the middle, but I end up doing it towards the back end so that I can put some exercise equipment there. But we can get into all of that a little later. Right now, we have these two little pieces of structure. I end up putting a third, no, two other, like four total, like shipping container buildings on this lot. This is a pretty relatively small lot. I don't think it's got to be like a 20 by 30, I believe. Or, yeah, it can't be much bigger than that. What I did enjoy most about working on this build was using a lot of bold colors that I don't typically use. Lots of browns, like the earthy dark browns, lots of reds, lots of greens, and obviously lots of black and lots of glass. I did not limit my pack usage for this one, but I can say there aren't too many items that actually use the new Adventure Awaits expansion pack. There are maybe just a few here and there, but for the most part, I'm using a lot of businesses and hobbies. I think Love Struck comes around, and Spa Day, and obviously Eco Lifestyle is a very big, prominent one as well because we're getting some of these solar panels on the roof here. I am itching to do another limited pack build pretty soon, but for this one, I really just wanted to kind of wing it. It's not very often where I end up winging a build and liking it. I usually end up bulldozing them and then finding some sort of reference. But this one was actually really fun to work on. We are kind of building out this back patio now, and here I end up getting a round pool. It's not too big of a pool, but I really did enjoy kind of playing with that shape. I wanted to try something fun like this for a second, but I ended up not doing so. I think I thought about putting like an in-ground hot tub, but I actually never ended up doing that. So it's a lot of fun, and playing with platforms I always enjoy doing, and that's what we're doing here. So we have the platformed deck, and then you have a little sunken in area, which I will decorate later and talk through. I do have three bedrooms on this lot, or at least like three, what I'm calling maybe hotel slash apartment living like spaces. Overall, you can have like 9 Sims stay for this retreat. They're as long as 4 of those Sims are okay with sharing beds with someone, because there are 2 double beds and then 4 bunk beds. And by 4 bunk beds, I mean 2 bunk beds, 2 beds each, you know? But I digress. The layout down here is rather also simple. This building here is like just the main living space where I have a little tiny kitchen, a little dining space, and a small, cozy little living room. And I really like how those turned out on the interior, but we're not going to get there yet. We're just figuring it out here. It's pretty rare when I actually leave floor plans in like this, so this is a little treat for you guys, I suppose. And this is pretty much what we end up working with. But the color scheme outside, I'm really loving. And I wanted to bring in some more of those bold colors especially like the blacks and things on the interior. Each room I kind of lean into, some I lean into the reds, some I lean into green. There is one room with like a blue and yellow kind of theme. Also, as you can see, I just made this roof area accessible via a ladder from outside versus putting doors up on the second floor so that you can access it. I just thought that was kind of more of an interesting way to plan it out. And of course, where the stairs are too, it wasn't really going to work to have doors leading out to the roof space. So it is what it is. But I ultimately am really happy with that decision. Up there, I end up putting some yoga mats, I believe, and you'll see that a little later too. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We are back in the backyard now trying to figure it out. I do jump around a fair amount in this build because, like I said, I was winging it and I was just trying to figure out what I like and what I don't like. So here we are getting some of this trim from, I think that might be from the River Retreat. No, what's that one kit? It's a kit. Some of the trim was peeking out into this platform space regardless of what kit it came from, but I wanted to cover that up a little bit with some of these hedges. These hedges we actually got when you did some holiday gameplay last year, I think, and I think they're really pretty. They're just like the base game hedges but with like little twinkling lights, so at night it looks so pretty. My question to you guys today is, would you ever go to a fitness retreat? I think I would under the right circumstances. I don't know if I would want to like being around other people too much. Maybe if it was more of like a solo retreat, or if it was like guaranteed to just be just me, my maybe friends and family or something. I think I'd be more willing to do that because I don't want to embarrass myself, honestly. No, that's not in the cards for me. But anyway, here in the interior, back again, we are working on the glass little gym place. And then I was like, oh no, I built this on a diagonal, so it's going to be so hard to get some kind of stairs or ladder here. But I think I ended up making it work a little bit. We are now going to add a couple more buildings over here, and this one I end up attaching to the first one via a bridge. And again, this was before I even knew this was going to be more of a retreat style build. So at this point, I'm still thinking this is like some sort of large residential area, and I was thinking maybe like this, it's like a more of an in-law suite kind of thing or a guest room kind of situation. So that's where my head was at this point, but we are leaning into more of the reds on the exterior of this. I could have tried the shipping container wallpaper, but it just wasn't matching the vibes that I was going for. So let's imagine that these have been like painted, or maybe you can put plaster over container. I don't know. I don't know how any of that works. And then I knew something in this corner we needed, and we got another little box here, and I think I used the same wood I did on the front. Yes, I think that wood is from Businesses and Hobbies, I think. I hope. I don't know. But let's imagine it's like reclaimed wood sort of feel. Overall I like it, and I liked using these island living floor pieces to kind of make a glass roof without going full glass roof with it either. So I really enjoyed that look. It also feels weird to me putting this video out now near the end of October, when I really wish I could be doing like these spooky builds and things, which I still want to do. I just don't know if I'll have time. I had started this build a while ago, as I mentioned, and then I just finished it after I returned from my little week vacation where I was out of town for a bit, and I want to be able to post something, so that's what we're doing here. With the landscaping, I go back and forth with this a lot too. I didn't want it to be too overgrown like many of my typical usual landscaping builds are. You guys know, if you've been around, I love lush greenery, and I think I was able to do that in a very minimal way here, but it's gonna take a minute and we're gonna like go back to it later a little bit. So just hang tight. I'm going back and forth. Now I'm figuring out the floor plan for this secondary building over here. We get like a little bathroom, and I was thinking this at this time, I was thinking this could be some kind of living office space. It ends up becoming the room with all of the bunk beds in there. So that is that. And then down here is pretty much the same thing. I get a little 3 tile bathroom laid out, and then the rest of this space is going to be another bedroom. I actually cannot wait to talk through how I decorated this 3 tile bathroom, because I think it's one of my favorite 3 tile bathrooms I've ever done. And I've done plenty of bathrooms like that. So I'm really excited to kind of show that off to you guys in just a little bit. We are getting a back entrance, which ends up being the front entrance to that back build over there in the corner. So that is where you're going to enter that space. And now I'm zooming around trying to figure out what the heck I want to do with the landscaping. So out front, I end up using these rounded pieces with a fence and first I was like, maybe I'll do like a little weird platform thing over here, but instead I tried to make like a little wavy pattern with the hedges fence, and I think it ended up looking kind of cool. And then I just kind of add other details to it, just like so. And then I was trying to remove the floor pieces, but I was like, I can't remove them. So I end up painting them and then just kind of landscaping over them, if that makes sense. I am grabbing these little flower pieces from Adventure Awaits. I thought they were so pretty, and I felt like they complemented some of the colors here, so I thought that was fun. And then we're just going to add some more like low-lying flowers and maybe some rocks. These new rocks are base game, and they are from one of the other events that we had to play to unlock some things. I always forget which one comes with which, but it's one of those. Originally, I felt like this back room would be great for like a cycle room, but I couldn't really figure out the layout in here, so it becomes something different later on. But this is just me kind of decorating it and placing some of the items here. But ultimately, I did not want to do it. What really sucks is when I did finally build the gym and like furnish it all to my liking, I exited the game, or maybe the game crashed or something. I think the game crashed, and I just went like white face, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't save my game. I couldn't remember the last time I saved, and I was just so mad, and I had to do it all over again. Luckily, I think I got everything that I did the first time I built it to my liking, so I'm really happy for that. But I'm sorry we had to sit through me turning this into a little cycle room, and then it end up not actually being the cycle room. But I do actually like what I kind of came up with at first. But I don't know. I think I liked having something else in there too. Maybe I could have kept it. Maybe if that's what you want to turn that into later, because you want more of the stationary bikes in your build, then you can definitely do that. But this is me removing those, thinking of putting a hot tub somewhere, and then ultimately deciding that this could be more of a like meditation room. So we're going to furnish that in a little bit. Over here is the official fitness gym part of the build. I don't know if it's very ideal to have this in a glass container. I could imagine this getting really, really hot, especially in the summer months. But I did make sure to put some ceiling fans in there, so hopefully that helps, and you can prop open doors and maybe add more fans later on if needed. Maybe I should have put a thermostat in there from Seasons, and that could have worked. So if you have Seasons, I would definitely suggest that you do that. So here we have our little bench, and I'm getting some more plants. I really loved adding greenery in this build, just in general. I thought it was super fun. And even some fitness clutter. So I use a lot of things from the Everyday Clutter Kit, Sleek Bathroom Kit. We have honestly lots of kits. Even the new kit, one of the creator kits, the entryway Grange mudroom kit, that thing. Yes. So this is me cluttering it up a lot, and I really, really enjoyed it. I also want to talk through what I did here with this water bottle from the Everyday Clutter Kit. I used the tool mod to rotate it slightly and then place it up on the bike here as if there was like a little cup holder there. I have done spin classes prior in the past. It's been years since I've done it, and I really should get back to it. But that was one thing I really thought was very convenient, because your water bottle could be right there as long as your water bottle could fit. Because sometimes I would have a water bottle that was a little too big for the cup holder, but it's really hard reaching all the way down to the ground. And if you've ever taken a spin class or used any of these equipment, then you know it is definitely helpful to have these water bottles at your fingertips pretty much. Here we are looking through the fitness kit. No, it's a stuff pack actually, to see what items I can pull out from there that'll work pretty well. Ultimately, I don't think I get too many of them. I end up just putting another rack of weights, I think, over on the other side of the wall where I'm trying to clutter it up. Otherwise, I get some bags and shoes, and I just kind of put things along. Like maybe the sim staying here either forgot, or if a sim is using a piece of equipment, you can imagine that that is their item. I also end up putting a dance floor in the middle down there, which I thought was pretty interesting, maybe a little unique. We have hopped back outside to finish up some more landscaping, and we are just kind of copying and pasting some items that I've already used, trying to make things a little more cohesive and keep things looking like they belong, you know? If you know, you know. I also struggled with trying to figure out what I want to do for the walkways for Sims, kind of going to and from different parts of the building. I end up using some more terrain paint, and I don't know. I hope that works okay enough. I think it looks okay enough. We'll see that in a little bit. Up here is where I decide to put our little yoga mats here. At first I tried to do different ones, but I just couldn't get with too many of the other patterns and things. So I think I end up with just these. And then I felt like we needed something else, so I'm using these items sized down. These are from Businesses and Hobbies, I believe. So I thought they kind of match the wood a little bit up here. And then of course we're getting some pretty little outdoor string lights over here just to kind of add to the ambiance, and I thought it looked pretty cool connecting from building to building. Then we are getting some benches around, and I liked using these bright red ones for some reason. I just thought they popped. We're gonna get some trash cans and other little details and street lights and all of that fun little stuff here. Surprisingly, I don't think I used too much from the debug menu in this build. I did do a few. There's like some trees and stuff in the back there. Those were pulled from the debug menu. But usually I use a lot more when I'm landscaping, so I definitely held back for this one. I just don't think it needed it. Here we are back, and we are getting our little meditation room situated. I think ultimately I get 4 meditation stools in here, and I thought it just looked kind of peaceful, so I really enjoyed it. And we're getting some curtains, because I don't know, maybe when you're meditating you might not want everyone to be watching, so maybe you can just close the curtains up a little bit. Obviously you have this big glass door too, but let's imagine that you can put the curtains over there too. Okay, let's just agree to disagree or anything, right? Back here it ends up changing a little bit. I did find this like really pretty partition or like divider thing from Lovestruck's debug, and I really wanted to add it, and it stays for the most part until I realize there's no like public bathroom that's easily accessible for everyone. So I end up just getting one of those outdoor outhouse kind of little situation things. So there's that. But I really like how that looked, and I felt like the colors really kind of popped in this build. So I don't know, that's just me. We are finishing up some more landscaping too, getting other flower beds around. I don't remember how much of that I keep in actually for you guys, so I don't know. We'll see. And now we get some more string lights here. We have a little basketball hoop. I definitely wanted a lot of activities for your Sims to kind of do, especially when it comes down to like the fitness aspect of it. Here is the pathing I end up doing, and because I can't do quarter tile, I am kind of going tile by tile for this one to kind of make this little diagonal piece work. So I think it worked out pretty well in my opinion. You guys are gonna have to be the judge of that though. And I'm just lining it up with some more dirt and stuff so that it looks a little more blended, hopefully. I think it looks ultimately pretty good, so I'm not too mad about it. I did think about doing like stepping stones, but it just didn't look right on top of the concrete terrain paint, if you know what I'm saying, because we added that concrete terrain paint at the very beginning and it just blends into the world a little better, and that's why I wanted to use it. But it is what it is. We got another tree and another bench over there on the side, but we should be hopping into some of the interior pretty soon because I think the landscaping is almost at a wrap. I did end up getting more details around the pool here too, like this rock fountain from the also the same Riviera retreat kit. That actually might be the name of it. I feel like we just came full circle. Love that. But honestly, I had a really hard time finding it. It was very strange, and I feel like there's been a few items that have been really hard to find recently. Like, you know they exist, but you can't locate them where you thought they existed. Is that just me? You guys are gonna have to let me know because I feel like I've been running into that a lot lately. Back here on this back porch, I think I end up just getting this little chair. And do I keep the grill? No, I end up putting a bigger grill over there. So it's just a chair, maybe a trash can. And then we are going to maybe work on this bathroom now, I think, which is really exciting. We have this base game tile from one of the unlockable events, and then this wallpaper, I believe, is from Businesses and Hobbies. And then we are getting a lot of items from the Sleek Bathroom Kit, which I feel like I need to use a lot more. But what I did here for this shower, it's a one tile shower on the wall, and I use the Eco Lifestyle wooden slabs along with some of these beautiful little string lights, which I think are also from Businesses and Hobbies. But just look how pretty that bathroom is. I'm just obsessed with it. It's so tiny. It's like not very cluttered. It just has the right amount of detail. And I would love to visit that and just take a shower in there because I love taking long, luxurious showers. Now we're going to furnish this room a little bit. We use a lot of items from Love Struck in here. I think some from Life and Death. This end table at least is for sure from Life and Death. The wallpaper is green, but I do end up using a lot of blues in the furniture. So it's very like a blue-green vibe, and I just felt like it felt so calming. That was really the goal for a lot of these spaces, is that there's just not too much going on. It's just very chill. Like when you go on vacation, just in general, you don't want to be, well, maybe you do if that's like the goal, to be in like a cluttered space or like part of the experience. But for some things, like I think a fitness retreat, I think you would want something a little more relaxing. We get this little end table, and I end up putting a TV up against it, and then we have a couch, and we add some pillows as well as some more greenery and lighting. I used the pillows from the new unlockable event, the one with the imaginary friends. Even though it wasn't an imaginary friend, but it was like a stuffed animal I think you had to play with and like take pictures of in certain places in the world of The Sims 4. But kind of boring. I didn't have that much fun with it, but I did get it done. So happy to do that because I wanted the pillows. There are some really cute swatches on those pillows, so you'll see those in just a little bit when I do add them. The sofa and paintings I'm using in here are from another kit. I forget what that one is called, but I think it's one of the creator kits. Yes, it is Perry Sims Refined Living Room Kit. Absolutely love these items. I think that lamp is also from that kit as well. So, like I said, again, I did not limit any pack usage. We're just drawing everything I have at my disposal. Here are the new little pillows. I think this swatch worked perfect for this room. So cute and so cozy. But ultimately, I think that is a wrap for that part of the build. Up here is where we are going to add all of the bunk beds, and we are definitely leaning in to some of the adventure awaits items in this room in particular. So the bunk beds here are new, and I end up like moving around, I think, the windows a little bit to kind of work with the floor plan, or at least the layout. Yeah, because I didn't want all of the beds up against the windows. It just didn't make sense, but I was like, I can live with two of them being up against the window. We are going to find some curtains, and then what else happens in this room? Really not much. I think I also get a sofa. I use this from the mudroom kit for your dressers, so you can have Sims kind of put their items in there. We get like maybe a stool, a small table from Eco Lifestyle that I end up putting a TV on, a mirror over here, and the sofa I end up getting is from the Cozy Kitsch kit, which I think fit pretty perfect in this room, right in between the beds. Instead of doing like an end table, I just felt like maybe they would want more seating space in this room. I think if you were to bring like a sim family here, I think this would be the room for like any kids or teen sims, only because of the like colors and how they're a little more bright and fun and youthful looking, maybe a little bit. I don't know, you guys can tell me. But now we are working on the bathroom in here too. I think this is the biggest bathroom in the build, so this one has a full on shower tub combo. And again, I'm leaning more into a lot of the yellows, pale blues, and things in here. We use these sinks from, I think those are from Businesses and Hobbies. These mirrors are from Adventure Awaits. That tub is from, it's from Growing Together, maybe? No, it's from one of those packs. I really like this shower tub combo though. It's one of my favorites. It's probably one of the better ones we have in the game. And then now that we have everything kind of laid out, I am going to get some clutter. I'm putting a plant in front of the window to try and help cover that up because the toilet is just right there for everyone to see, apparently. But that's what curtains are for, too. We just have to imagine that our Sims close curtains sometimes. So, you know, we use our imagination a lot in this game, I feel like. Now we have moved on to our living spaces. This is the kitchen. I really thought about using Dream Home Decorator for this one, but then I found these cabinets from the Cool Kitchen stuff. I think it's Cool Kitchen. It's one of the kitchen kits, okay? It's one of them. I think it is Cool Kitchen. It might even be a stuff pack I don't know. I can't remember. There's so much. I'm sorry. It might be a stuff pack, but I don't typically get to use these like modern cabinets and counters and things. So when I get to, I definitely have to. And I really like how they kind of play off the dark black tones. And I really like the earthy vibe too a little bit. So I enjoyed it. You guys are going to have to let me know if you enjoyed it. For our appliances in here, I got this little appliance cart, which I absolutely love that we can put appliances on here. And that's where I put our little smoothie maker so your Sims can come and make their smoothies. I might have a coffee or tea maker somewhere here. I just can't remember if that ends up happening. I think it's a tea kettle. Actually, there we go. We just put it on the counter there. And then we're going to clutter that up a little later, but now I want to figure out where I'm going to put this dining room table. It's quite a bit of a tight squeeze in here, but your Sims can walk around. So don't be worried or anything. I did rotate it so that it looks a little like they can walk around a little better. And I think that table is from Get Famous. Those chairs are from Life and Death. And that rug, I think, is from Adventure Awaits. So, like I said, definitely not limiting any packs. We're going to go in and out of cluttering this kitchen too. So, right now, we're adding a lot of the items from Adventure Awaits at this point when I'm furnishing this build, because like I said, I kept coming out of it and coming back to it. I now have adventure awaits in my packs or in my game. So we are definitely using that a lot because it was still relatively new at this point to me. We're going to use the kitchen clutter kit now to add a few more touches in here, like this soap dish, that hanging fruit basket, I think a scale or these cereal boxes, and just a tad bit more clutter. Now we're going to work on the entryway real quick, which I use this wall piece from the Grange Mudroom kit. I use an end table from the Refined Living Room kit, and then we just put some books, I think maybe a lamp or some kind of plants or something on here. It's really not too crazy. I think it's relatively simple. Now we're getting some blinds on these large windows, but I don't think I stick with these, or maybe I do. Oh no, I changed the curtain rods because I didn't like that the curtain was just behind the counter. I just didn't think that made sense, so I felt like maybe it was kind of more off kilter a little bit, if that makes any sense to you guys at all. It makes sense to me. But we swapped out that shelving piece for this mirror from, I forget which pack this mirror came from. It might actually be the Grange Mudroom kit as well. But I thought that brown tone matched pretty nicely in this build. And then we're just going to get something in this corner. I just cannot remember what, but we do get something. A plant. That sounds about right. Also, another little funny story about when I was building this, I had edited a bunch of footage for this speed build, and then I went back into the build to take screenshots and realized that I didn't even furnish the last little bedroom apartment unit, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did I forget to do that? That's what happens when you don't finish a build before you go on vacation, because then you're like, what even happened here, because I'm just so lost. But we got it together in the end, which is all that matters. Here in the living room space, we got a little fireplace, and I wanted some kind of bookshelves here, so I'm using these from Businesses and Hobbies because I felt like the brown tone here was just working so well for us. And finding a sofa was really hard, and then trying to make this look not too squishy was really difficult, but I was like, you know what? Whatever. I like how it looks, so we're leaving it. So that sofa is from the Refined Living Room kit again. These chairs I end up using are from Lovestruck, I believe. Or is it Businesses and Hobbies? It's from one of those more recent packs. I don't know. But we are pulling out some more artwork and all of these things. And now we are just going to add the details in here, like lamps and maybe some pillows on that sofa, some curtains, and maybe a flower on that coffee table. Do I end up with a rug? I do. I used a Book Nook kit rug here. So that's a wrap for that one. Now over here, I was like, oh no, I have to do this furnishing. And then I didn't want to do the whole bathroom all over again. So I copied the one from the other room. It's just slightly bigger. So I had to rearrange it because I had the idea of putting a utility closet in that hallway. And I couldn't do that if I kept the bathroom this size. So I'm just eliminating some items and scooting things over, changing some of the details and swatches just to make it work over here. But ultimately, I think I end up liking what we did. The shower is from, I think, Life and Death, if I'm not mistaken. And then just finding a better piece of artwork that works in here and with the vibe of the room. And then, hello, surprise, vampires is now entering the chat. I was like, I haven't used anything from vampires. Should I use this rug? But then I was like, I kind of really like it in here, so I'm going to use it. So sorry about that. Here we got the utility closet. That one came with Love Struck. We're getting a plant out in this hallway and maybe like a bench and some artwork, but this hallway is relatively simple. Oh, those pieces of artwork are from Cats and Dogs, another pack that hasn't made an appearance yet, but has definitely joined us here at the very end. So I'm sorry about that too. I'm so sorry. Luckily, if you do get this off the gallery, you can check and see what items are used from each pack, and then you can determine how likely or how much you think it affects the build if it replaces it for you or you don't have that piece. A lot of it will probably be decorations, but for the most part you should be, I think, pretty set here. This final bedroom now, we lean into the reds and blacks a lot. There are some green tones around, but it's relatively simple. I think I keep this bed. I have that artwork from the Modern Luxe kit. We get an end table and then just a dresser along the other wall, and then maybe a mirror. But this room was very simple. This was the last room I did, and usually those are the ones with maybe less details because I'm ready to be done. I would really love to do more of these modern-ish builds too in the future. I usually do traditional builds, and whenever I do a modern build like this, I'm like, oh, this is so much fun. It's like so refreshing sometimes, especially when you get stuck in a rut, which I have been in lately for reasons. If you know, you know. Anyway, that's a wrap on the build. Let's hop into live mode and I will show you everything in action with real Sims. And our fitness retreat has begun. I have this Sim here, Yasmin Tinker. She is a Sim, a townie from Eco Lifestyle, but she is going on a very fun little fitness retreat. I feel like my game is so laggy. Sorry about that. Let's take a very quick overview, bird's eye view of this floor plan. We have, as you can see, a few different containers happening over here. We have some bedrooms. You can see the gym kind of peeking out here. Another little apartment bedroom area, plus our kitchen and living spaces over here. And then the rest of our gym and a meditation studio, plus pool, yard space, etc. Currently, it is free time, so we are working on some, self-care and maybe some training. We'll see. Our Sim here is going to go grab a serving of hot dogs that was made out here, but everyone's kind of been inside a little bit. We have food all over the place, which I did not think about when I put a grill out here. I can't really drag anything, so food is just kind of on the ground. I did put this table out here to kind of help that, but yeah, we've got a lot of stuff. I wonder if I could put it away. I can. That might be helpful. Not to put my Sim to work or anything, but whatever. We have some Sims over here watching TV. That is so fun. We have a little cozy space here with some seating, a fireplace. We have some bookcases. It's a pretty small living space, but you're not here to chill. You're here to work out. Oh, look at this. We have a bunch of Sims swimming in here. This looks actually kind of freaking insane. It looks kind of manic. It is a small pool, so that's on me. I did have to add an outhouse here because I didn't have any room for like a public bathroom. So this is my solution to that. Hopefully you don't mind. I'm sorry, I'm like jumping all over the place here. I'm wondering if my Sim can come up here and maybe test some of the bedrooms. I'm gonna just teleport her. You don't have to do any dancing. Let's just come here. Oh, there she goes. All right, let's see if I can sleep on one of these top bunks. Just make sure we can get up there okay. That's perfect. That's all I needed to know. We also have this cute little bathroom down here, and I love how colorful this bedroom is with the yellows and blues. The living space down here has the little greens and blues happening. This is the one I claimed for ourselves. Maybe we can come and test out this bathroom real quick. Yeah, let's use this bathroom and let's maybe take a quick shower. It seems to be working. I really kind of like this stand-up shower here using these lights. I thought that looked really cool and like kind of romantic a little bit. Oh, we have a bunch of Sims working out now. Look at this. I haven't tried lifting weights, so maybe we can come and do that. I'm just gonna teleport her again. Boom. Let's do an energized workout with these weights. Maybe having the dance floor here is a little bit much, but I think it's kind of fun. It adds to chaos. Who even came here? We've got Joffrey Landgrab. We have Dahlia. We have Skip Baroque. That's so cool. Naoki's over here. Parker Glass. Frida Perry. An elder. Is she our instructor? She's our retreat leader. That's kind of really funny. It looks like Joffrey's gonna come up here and test our spin bikes. I want to point out this little trick here, putting the water bottle from the Everyday Clutter kit, using the tool mod to kind of adjust it to make it look like it's on the bike here. I thought it was a fun little touch. All right, go Joffrey, go. I love that. Oh, we have a sim out here playing some basketball. This is Connie Ritchie. The hoop's all the way over here, but she's over here, so that's a little weird. I think I'm gonna have him come my sim test this out for us real quick too. Yeah, so you can like fitness. You're at a fitness retreat. Shoot around? No? Okay. Dream big? There we go. Oh, that's so funny. Well, that kind of works. The shooting around, not so much, but it looks like some of it. Let's meditate. I think that's the last thing I really want to make sure works. There we go. Look how calming that is. Nice and peaceful in here. So overall, this is kind of a pretty tight space, especially a lot of the living spaces. So I don't know if that would be very ideal for gameplay or whatnot, but I think it can be a little functional. Maybe you can like limit how many sims come over here during a retreat. That might be useful. Now we have a bunch of sims making even more food. So that's gonna be a thing here. Tina Tinker, aren't you guys related? Let's say, how nosy. I don't really want to talk about that. But I think it's safe to say that this place is pretty functional. I really love the glass container here with the gym. I think that's really fun because you can watch them from outside. That sounded really creepy. Anyway, look how pretty it is at sunset. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys for joining me today for this eco fitness retreat build made out of containers. I really had a lot of fun with this. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Thanks again for liking, commenting, and subscribing. But first, before I actually sign off, thanks to my channel members. You guys are super awesome. I appreciate you guys so much. Anyway, okay, that's it. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.